Hey gents, the first time that I was ever struck with like a bag or a backpack that I just couldn't like take my eyes off of, I was working at a law firm, I got into an elevator, one of the law clerks got in, and by the middle of the elevator ride, I was just like, hey, can I just ask where your backpack's from? And he said, Saddleback. So that was my first experience with finding something that I was really enamored with, Googling it and saying, oh my God, that is so expensive. And that was my first brush with Saddleback. I've always enjoyed their designs and the quality of leather that they use. But the company that I bought my first like real briefcase from was Satchel and Page. I've had dozens of bags since then, but Satchel and Page continues to make incredible products. And today we're looking at their newly launched backpack, and I'm so excited to show it to you. First off, some context is with the Gladstone bag. I opened this up 18 months ago, and I am still just as in love with this bag as the first day it came out. In fact, a little bit more because I've put so many miles on this. Still smells like incredible leather. And to set the stage for the backpack is that this incredible leather that they use, this veg-tanned Italian leather, made in Italy construction with solid hardware and everything. They took these characteristics and put it in this backpack. And this backpack was also one that turned my wife's head. When I came home with it, she just stopped dead in her tracks and she said, where is that backpack from? And so here we have the Satchel and Page backpack. A little shiny, got a lot of lights in here, but it does turn heads and the capacity is incredible. So let's break down what makes this bag so great, give you some closer looks to it, and talk about where it sits in the market. I'll put links below so you can check it out. They just launched today. They're gonna have some stuff there. And this comes in at $4.95, which Satchel and Page has always sat at this really interesting point where they make bags that should be selling for much higher prices, but because of the D2C model, they are able to offer it at much better prices. And you see that if you look at the Shinola Runwell backpack. Shinola irks me in every way because even on their site it says it's designed in Detroit, doesn't say that it's made in Detroit, but it's the implication that it's made in Detroit. But those are $9.95. You could buy 2 of these bags for one of those Shinola bags. And if you look at it like the Toomey leather bags, it's a very, those are $700, $800 or $900 depending on the leather model that you pick. And so for this to come in at $4.99 feels, like, whoa, that is very expensive. But when you look at this leather in comparison to anything else in that $500 price point category, it is very good. The Italian veg tan leather that Satchel and Page uses is so rich and incredible. It has character. You can see some of the imperfections that came right off of the cow, and the finishing that they use for the construction, the YKK Acela zippers, the brass hardware. You can see in the riveting here where they bring the backpack to reinforce this, and then they stitch another one in there, and their logo inspired by the military designs that inspired the original Satchel and Page collection. And then the interior design, the pockets. I have the Port series, which I reviewed 2 years ago, which I absolutely love, and it's all about organization, and they bring some of those design elements into this bag. So not only do they give you a nice large capacity in here, but then they also give you some of the organizational features for pens and notebooks and small zipper pockets, all the little things you really like in there. So I was able to load this up. I had this thing loaded up about 20 pounds of audio recording gear, and it holds up really well. The sleeves aren't as heavily padded as my Toomey bags. I have a couple of Toomey backpacks, and these aren't, the shoulder straps aren't quite as padded, but they are comfortable. They have a nice kind of soft lining on the interior here. Then you get the full leather on the outside. The hardware for the straps to adjust is extremely sturdy and stable. You can see that on the strap here. And they do this kind of dual stitching to make this really strong. And this is a feature that I love in the Gladstone, and they were able to incorporate into the backpack. One of the problems with many backpacks, briefcases, is if you use it as a second bag to your carry-on, keeping that on the handle, and you can use this really sturdy handle and kind of drag it with a carry-on, but you can use these 2 kind of straps right here to put a leather strap through to make it hold on your carry-on. So if you are a frequent traveler, really easy to put this through, keep it on, and then I found that it didn't bother my back that much just wearing it, and you can put it on here, the hardware. You can adjust this so it kind of sits on the outside of your back, but then this becomes really easy to slide onto a carry-on and keep secure as you go through the airport. And that's like the #1 feature of a briefcase or bag to me now, is that I travel enough now. I used to travel considerably more, but I travel enough now that I really want my bag to be able to sit on there securely and have this on here. And so it really brings it all together. And to talk about the leather a little bit too, because I think that's like the main thing here, is how beautiful this leather is. It's a great design, interior, exterior, hardware, everything. But the way that the leather ages, and you can see this in my Gladstone for 18 months, I've put thousands of miles on this. I took it to Morocco with me. I took it all over the place. And the way that it just collects small scuffs and scratches and kind of wears out and just develops this patina over time, becoming more beautiful with every time you use it. Even like the bottom here is slightly reinforced, and I'm just so enamored with the leather that's used on here, because I've purchased other bags in this price point to try and see, is there better stuff, and you have to go up, hundreds of dollars more to get Italian-made vegetable tan leather like this. I know from trying to find them. And on this bag too, handle's really sturdy, but you have the kind of carry-on thing right here. So taking the DNA of the Gladstone, putting it into a backpack design, I think it is a home run. And there's a lot of backpacks out there that you can go to Herschel and get them for $79, and then there's this crazy upswing as you go into fine leather. And I'm really excited that Satchel & Page is really hitting the sweet spot at that $495 price point. And so I'll put links below so you can go check those out. I think it's very interesting, and I'm gonna have to keep this locked in the studio so my wife doesn't steal it, because she really wants this bag. But it's because it's great. And so if you have any questions about Satchel & Page, this video is not sponsored. This is my own stuff here. I was able to get the bag a few weeks early to do this video and to wear it a lot. I've been wearing this for the past 3 weeks and really getting some time to live with it and experience it. And it's gonna be sad when I send it back, but that's just how these things go. Love to answer your questions down below. You can also reach out at _Kavalier on Twitter and Instagram. Love to hear from you guys over there. And until next time, gents, this is the Kavalier. No Shave November, it's in full force. The key with No Shave November is to just trim up the neck. Like this will grow down to here. Just trim it a little bit. Make sure you're clean. Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean.